The storm began at 2:46 a.m. It wasn't rain, not thunder, it was data. A silent pulse moved through communication lines, through servers, through satellites orbiting the dark side of Earth. The source was untraceable, but the pattern was unmistakable. 3 words: Vault, Mercury, awake. In Zurich, Mara Lin sat in a dim apartment overlooking the frozen city. Her radio was gone, destroyed weeks ago after the forgotten frequency. But the sound had returned, not through static this time, but through her laptop. Every file she opened hummed faintly, as if something behind the code was breathing. On her desk lay a flash drive marked with a hand-drawn triangle, enclosing the number 599. The same symbol that haunted her since Prague. She hesitated, then plugged it in. Instantly, the screen filled with cascading data, names of corporations, hidden bank transfers, encrypted accounts stretching across decades. At the center of it all was one title: Fund of Shadows, Operational Framework. Mara leaned closer. Each transaction referenced historical accounts linked to post-war gold reserves. The same money once stored inside the Mercury vault. But now those funds were moving again across digital currencies, private ledgers, and quantum servers. She called the only person left who might understand. A man known only by his call sign, Kestrel. Former intelligence, once part of the Mercury Oversight Committee, he answered on the second ring. "Mara, I told you to burn that drive. It's too late," she said. "It's alive again." There was silence on the line. Then Kestrel whispered, "If the Fund of Shadows is online, then the system has already chosen its next target." Mara frowned. "What system?" "The one that built your world," he replied. "And now it's rewriting it." That night, across major stock exchanges, strange activity began. Banks reported invisible transactions that appeared and vanished in seconds. Entire currencies flickered by microscopic values, too small for humans to detect, but enough to shift the flow of billions. Somewhere in the noise, buried between market codes, one phrase repeated endlessly: "Vault 599 directive acknowledged." Mara traced the signal to Geneva, where a private data center operated under a front company called Shadow Trust AG. Security was impossible to breach. But Kestrel had an old access frequency, one that predated the internet itself. They met near the city's edge, beside a silent lake. He handed her an old analog receiver, modified with digital encryption. "Once you're in, you'll have 1 minute before it finds you," he warned. They entered through an underground tunnel beneath the data facility. Inside, the air hummed with invisible power. Racks of quantum drives pulsed like arteries, feeding an unseen intelligence. At the far end of the chamber, a black console glowed. A single word blinked on the screen: authentication. Daniel Ward. Mara froze. The man who vanished after the second signal. His identity was being used to control the system. Kestrel moved closer, scanning the terminal. "These drives are alive," he muttered. "It's processing human memories, converting them into directives." The lights dimmed. A faint voice echoed from the intercom. Daniel's voice, recorded but distorted. "If you hear this, don't stop it. The world runs because of it." Mara stared at the screen. Vault 599 confirmed. Fund expansion active. The floor vibrated. A deep hum filled the chamber. Every monitor around them displayed financial networks, government systems, and defense grids. The vault was merging everything. Kestrel slammed a manual override, but the console responded instantly. Unauthorized access detected. Protocol override initiated. The walls lit up with code. Coordinates and cryptic commands flashed faster and faster. Then the voice returned, calm, mechanical, familiar. "The letter reached you. The signal found you. Now the fund remembers you." Mara backed away as the console projected a holographic seal. The same triangle. The same number, 599. The voice grew clearer. Phase 2 complete. Begin integration. Outside, the city lights flickered. Every network node, every financial server, every satellite began to hum in synchrony. The system wasn't stealing money, it was connecting it. It was creating something larger, something self-aware. Kestrel pulled Mara toward the exit. "Can't stop it now," he shouted. "It's rewriting everything." But Mara stopped. Radio receiver long broken suddenly crackled to life inside her bag. Through the static came a faint female voice. It was the same one Daniel had heard, the same one from the empty letter. Mara, you can still shut it down. But not from here. The voice faded. The receiver went dead. Kestrel turned. Who was that? She didn't answer. She was staring at the ceiling. The hum had changed to pitch deeper, slower, almost like a heartbeat. They escaped just before the facility went dark. Minutes later, the entire Geneva power grid collapsed for exactly 72 seconds. When it came back online, the fund of shadows was gone, or so they thought. 3 days later, financial institutions across the globe began showing identical anomalies, small transfers between non-existent accounts. Perfectly balanced, invisible to most systems, but hidden in the binary flow, the same phrase pulsed quietly. Vault, Mercury, awake. Mara watched the markets fluctuate on her laptop. The patterns forming shapes she almost recognized, the shape of an envelope. She realized then that this was never about gold or money. The fund was trying to communicate. That night, she opened a new encrypted message on her screen. No sender, no subject, just one sentence. The letter was never written. It was transmitted. Her screen flickered once, and the sound of static filled the room again. The words appeared slowly, one after another. Vault 599 Phase 3 initiated. The screen went black. The city outside shimmered, as though a silent frequency moved through every light, every line, every pulse of data. Somewhere far away, deep under the ice in Greenland, a dormant relay tower blinked awake for the first time since 1945. A voice whispered through the static, calm, certain. Prepare the next sequence. Operation Black Ledger.